At around hour 18 of fasting, your body starts eating itself, not in a dangerous way, not in a way that destroys you, but in a way that might be one of the most powerful survival mechanisms you have. Because at that moment, something switches deep inside your cells. Your body stops focusing on growth and starts focusing on repair. And the way it repairs itself is shocking. It begins to break down old, damaged, and dysfunctional parts of your cells, proteins that no longer work properly, structures that have accumulated damage over time, even entire components that are no longer efficient. It takes them apart and recycles them, piece by piece. This process has a name. It's called autophagy, and it literally means self-eating. But here's what makes this so important. If you never reach this stage, your body never activates this system. That means all the damaged cellular material, all the buildup from years of stress, poor diet, and aging stays exactly where it is, inside you, accumulating slowly, quietly, without you noticing, until it shows up as fatigue, inflammation, aging, and disease. And the most surprising part? Most people never reach hour 18. They fast, but they stop too early. They eat just before this system turns on, over and over again, without realizing that they're ending the process right before their body begins to clean itself. So they miss the most powerful part of fasting. Not fat burning, but cellular repair. And once you understand exactly why this happens, and what your body is waiting for before it activates this process, you start to see fasting in a completely different way. Not as deprivation, but as an opportunity your body has been waiting for. This is not because your body can't repair itself. It's not because you're doing something wrong, or because you lack discipline, or because your system is somehow weaker than other people's. In fact, your body is incredibly good at repairing itself. The real problem is much simpler. You almost never give it the chance. You've been taught your entire life that eating regularly is healthy, that you should fuel your body constantly. Breakfast, snacks, meals, more snacks, something before bed. The idea is that your body always needs energy coming in, that going too long without food is harmful. So you follow that pattern, and from the outside, it looks responsible, it looks healthy, it feels like you're taking care of your body. But inside your body, something very different is happening. Because your body doesn't just have one mode, it has two: a growth mode and a repair mode. Growth mode is what happens when you eat. Nutrients come in, insulin rises, and your body focuses on building, storing, and growing. Cells divide. Proteins are synthesized. Energy is directed toward expansion, and that's important. But repair mode is different. Repair mode is when your body pauses growth and starts fixing what's already there. It identifies damage, it removes broken components, it restores balance. And here's the key. Your body cannot fully be in both modes at the same time. So when you eat constantly, when you keep providing signals of abundance, your body stays in growth mode. It never switches. Not because it doesn't want to repair, but because it doesn't think it needs to. So the real issue is not that your body lacks the ability to clean itself. It's that your lifestyle never allows it to enter the state where cleaning begins. You've been feeding your body, but never giving it time to fix itself. And over time, that missed opportunity adds up. So what's actually stopping your body from entering that repair mode? There isn't just one thing. It's a combination of signals that work together to keep your body focused on growth, even when it no longer needs to be. The first is constant eating. Every time you eat, you send a signal to your body that resources are available, that it should continue building, storing, and expanding. And when that signal is repeated over and over again throughout the day, your body never experiences a true break. It never reaches a state where it has to stop and clean up. The second is insulin. Insulin rises every time you consume food, especially carbohydrates and protein. And while insulin is essential, it also has a powerful side effect. It suppresses autophagy. As long as insulin is active, your body is told to stay in growth mode. Repair is delayed. Cleanup is paused. The third is a pathway inside your cells called mTOR. mTOR is essentially your body's growth switch. When it's active, your body is building, creating proteins, supporting cell growth, expanding tissue. But when mTOR is active, autophagy is turned off. Because from your body's perspective, there's no reason to break things down if new resources are constantly coming in. And this is where the problem becomes clear. Most people live in a state where these signals are always on. They eat frequently, which keeps insulin elevated. Insulin keeps mTOR active, and as long as mTOR is active, autophagy stays off. So your body is constantly being told one thing: keep growing, don't repair. And over time, that creates a buildup. Damaged proteins, dysfunctional cellular components, worn-out structures that should have been removed. All of it stays inside your cells, slowly accumulating. Not because your body doesn't know how to clean itself, but because it's never given permission to. Because as long as your body believes more energy is coming, it refuses to stop and clean what's already there. But here's the part that changes everything. Your body already has the system to fix this. You don't need to build it. You don't need to learn it. You don't need to force it. It's already there, built into your biology, waiting for the right conditions to turn on. Because your body is not just designed to grow, it's designed to repair. And that repair system is incredibly precise. It doesn't randomly break things down. It identifies what's damaged, what's inefficient, what no longer works the way it should, and it removes it. It recycles it. It rebuilds using the same raw materials. That system is called autophagy, and it's not something rare. It's not something only certain people have. Every single person has it. The only difference is whether it ever gets activated. Because autophagy doesn't turn on just because you want it to. It turns on when your body reaches a specific state. A state where growth signals are low, energy is limited, and your system shifts from expansion to maintenance. And when that happens, something remarkable begins. Your cells start cleaning themselves. Not slowly, not passively, but actively, intentionally, and efficiently. Damaged components are removed, broken proteins are recycled, cellular waste is cleared out, your system becomes lighter, cleaner, more efficient, and the most important part is this. This doesn't take months to begin. It starts within hours. At a very specific point in your fasting timeline, a point most people never reach, because they stop just before it begins. But once you understand exactly when that happens, you realize something powerful. Your body is not aging just because time is passing. It's aging because this system isn't being activated. And the moment you give your body the chance to turn it on, the process starts to change. To understand when autophagy actually begins, you have to look at what your body is doing over time. Because this process doesn't appear instantly. It builds gradually, step by step, as your internal environment changes. At hour 0, right after you eat, your body is fully in growth mode. Nutrients are entering your bloodstream, insulin rises, and mTOR is highly active. This is the signal that tells your body to build. Proteins are being synthesized, cells are expanding, and everything is focused on growth. In this state, autophagy is essentially off. There is no reason for your body to break anything down when resources are abundant. As you move into hour 2 to 4, your body continues processing that meal. Insulin is still elevated, mTOR is still active, and your cells are still receiving signals to grow. Internally, your system is still in the same mode. Nothing has changed yet. Autophagy remains suppressed. By hour 4 to 8, insulin begins to decline, but not enough to shift your body out of growth mode. Glycogen, your stored form of glucose, is now being used as your primary fuel source. Your body is still comfortable. It still has access to easy energy. And because of that, there is still no reason to activate repair mechanisms. Between hour 8 and 12, glycogen continues to be used. Your liver steadily releases glucose to keep your brain and body functioning smoothly. Insulin is lower, but not absent. mTOR activity has decreased slightly, but it hasn't shut down. Your body is moving toward a transition, but it hasn't committed yet. This is where most people think something significant is happening. They feel hunger. They feel lighter. They assume their body is now cleaning itself. But it isn't. Because the signals for growth are still present. And as long as those signals exist, autophagy stays off. Now, as you move into hour 12 to 14, your internal environment begins to shift more noticeably. Glycogen stores are getting low. Insulin levels are significantly reduced. mTOR activity begins to decline. Your body starts to sense that incoming energy is no longer guaranteed. This creates a subtle shift in priorities. Instead of focusing entirely on growth, your body begins preparing for maintenance, but it still hasn't fully switched. This is the preparation phase. Then, somewhere between hour 14 and 16, the signals change more dramatically. Insulin drops further. mTOR is now largely suppressed. Your body recognizes that resources are limited. And when that happens, a different set of pathways begins to activate. This is where autophagy starts to turn on. Not at full intensity yet, but the process begins. Your cells start identifying damaged proteins. They begin marking dysfunctional components for removal. The cleanup system is waking up. And then, as you reach hour 16 to 18, the shift becomes stronger. Autophagy becomes more active. Your cells are now actively breaking down and recycling damaged parts. Proteins that have misfolded, mitochondria that are no longer efficient, cellular debris that has accumulated over time. All of it begins to be dismantled and reused. This is not destruction. This is optimization. And then, around hour 18 and beyond, you reach the point where this process becomes fully engaged. This is the moment most people never experience. Your body is now clearly in repair mode. Growth signals are low. Cleanup systems are active. Your cells are working to remove what no longer serves them and rebuild stronger, more efficient structures. This is where autophagy is truly doing its work. And the longer you remain in this state, the deeper that process goes. Your body becomes more efficient. Your cells become cleaner. Your internal systems begin to function with less interference and less damage. And when you look back at the earlier hours, you realize something important. They were necessary. But they were only the setup. Because until your body reaches a point where growth signals are quiet and energy is limited, it will never switch into the mode where real repair begins. So here's the moment most people completely miss. Autophagy doesn't start when you begin fasting. It starts when your body stops receiving signals to grow. And that usually doesn't happen until around hour 16. becoming much stronger by hour 18. That's the exact point where your body finally shifts, not because you forced it, not because you suffered enough, but because the internal conditions have changed. Insulin is low, mTOR is quiet, glycogen is nearly gone, and your body no longer has a reason to stay in growth mode. So it switches, and when it does, your body doesn't just burn fat, it starts repairing itself. That's the difference. Before this moment, your body is still maintaining, still operating, still delaying cleanup. But after this moment, your cells begin actively removing damage and recycling what's broken. And once you understand that, the solution becomes very simple. You don't need extreme fasting. You don't need to go days without food. You just need to reach that window, consistently. That means extending your fasting period just enough to cross that threshold. If you're currently fasting for 12 hours, that's not enough to activate this system. You're still in the preparation phase. You need to move slightly beyond that. Aim for 14 hours first, then gradually reach 16. And occasionally, if your body tolerates it well, allow yourself to reach 18. Not perfectly, not every single day, but often enough that your body actually experiences this shift. The second adjustment is to reduce constant eating, because every time you eat, especially frequently, you reactivate growth signals. You turn mTOR back on. You interrupt the process before it even begins. And the third is consistency, because your body adapts to patterns. The more often you allow it to enter repair mode, the more efficient it becomes at activating that system. And over time, what once felt difficult becomes natural. Hunger becomes more stable. Energy becomes more consistent. And your body becomes better at maintaining itself from the inside out. All because you finally gave it the time it needed to reach the moment where repair begins. But this is where most people unknowingly stop themselves. The first mistake is breaking the fast too early. You go 12 hours, maybe 14, and then you eat because it feels like enough. But now you understand that you're ending the process right before autophagy fully activates. You repeat this pattern again and again, never realizing that you're stopping at the exact moment your body is about to begin repairing itself. The second mistake is eating too frequently during your eating window. Even if you fast long enough, constant snacking sends repeated signals of abundance. Insulin rises again. mTOR turns back on, and your body shifts right back into growth mode. The repair process is interrupted before it can do anything meaningful. The third mistake is overloading protein. Protein strongly activates mTOR, which is great for growth, but it also suppresses autophagy. So if your goal is repair, constantly triggering high protein signals can delay that process even further. The fourth mistake is expecting immediate results. Autophagy is not something you feel instantly. It's not like a burst of energy or a sudden visible change. It's a silent process happening inside your cells. If you expect dramatic changes in a few days, you'll assume it's not working and stop too soon. The fifth mistake is inconsistency. You try it once, maybe twice, but you don't repeat it enough for your body to adapt. Your system needs repetition. It needs patterns. The more often you reach that repair window, the more efficient your body becomes at activating it. And the final mistake is overcomplicating everything. You don't need perfect timing. You don't need extreme fasting. You don't need to push yourself to exhaustion. You just need to reach that window and allow your body to do what it already knows how to do. So here's what you do. Don't try to change everything at once. Start with one simple step. Extend your fasting window slightly. If you normally stop at 12 hours, go to 14. Stay there for a few days, then move to 16. And when you're ready, occasionally allow yourself to reach 18. That's it. Because once you reach that point, your body takes over. It begins repairing, cleaning, rebuilding. And over time, that process compounds. Your cells become more efficient, your system becomes more resilient, and the effects start to show, not just in how you look, but in how you feel. Because your body was never broken. It was just never given the time to fix itself. And the moment you give it that time, everything starts to change.